أفمن يعلم أنما أنزل إليك من ربك الحق كمن هو أعمى إنما يتذكر أولو الألباب.
If you want to transform a human being into an automaton, that he will no longer think, so you will think for him. And he will no longer choose, so you will choose for him. And you will enslave him not only externally but also internally. Then this is where you start. You start by transforming his heart so that he no longer perceives time as Allah has ordained it, but he now perceives time moving faster and faster. I am giving you the mother of all warnings. If you are someone who has love for the Qur'an in your heart, for those who have said goodbye to the Qur'an, I don't have any time for them. I've come to Pakistan for you. Those who still have this love for the Qur'an. It is when we have said goodbye to the Qur'an, goodbye to the system of time which Allah has given, then the heart becomes corrupted. And the heart perceives time moving faster and yet faster. That is the bitter sign that you are being transformed into an automaton, or what the Qur'an calls a jasad, a human being who is losing his internal freedom, his capacity to think for himself, his capacity to choose for himself, losing that capacity. When it speaks and when it acts, it does on the basis of external programming. This is a being who is externally programmed. That's artificial intelligence. This is the implication of Dajjal being a jasad. The first is, of course, he wants to rule the world from Jerusalem, and Allah programs him to do it. And the second, of course, is he wants to transform us into jasad. And when you enter into that system of time, a corrupted system of time, and you abandon the one that Allah has given you of sacred time, you will lose the capacity to think, and you'll become a part of Dajjal's jamaat. The greatest danger we face in the world of Islam today, Ummah of Muhammad SAW, is not a danger from outside. It's a danger from inside. A danger from the jamaat, that huge jamaat of people who have lost the capacity to think. They are located within our very midst. You can recognize them. They have eyes and cannot see. They have ears and cannot hear. They have hearts and do not understand. Allah says about them, I didn't, Allah says, He used very harsh language. This is not insulting language. If I follow what is there in the Quran, and I also use harsh language, no, I'm not insulting. Allah says, they are like cattle. And when you cannot think and you betray the deen, he says you are like donkeys. He says they are like dogs. This is in the Quran. Kamathal al-kalb. They are like dogs. This harsh language is in the Quran. He says they are creatures, human beings, and he refers to them as dabba. Inna sharra ad-dawabi inda Allahi summul bukmul ladhina la ya'qilun. The worst creatures, he said, creatures, dabba. The first creatures, the worst of them in the sight of Allah are those who have they are deaf and they're blind and they don't think. They don't think.
Have you noticed the effects of light pollution in your life? So what if I can't see the Milky Way at night? It's just a little light pollution, right?
No matter what form light pollution takes, each can have unintended yet harmful impacts. Wildlife, particularly sea turtles, have had their nocturnal patterns disrupted. The turtle hatchling's instinct to follow the light of the moon in order to reach the sea is intercepted by the light of inland cities. Because of this, many never find their way to the ocean.
Take, for instance, baby sea turtles. Those little guys hatch on the beach, and it's imperative they get to the water before some predator snatches them up. When they're born at night, they find water by putting the dark and elevated silhouette of land behind them. But lights from houses or roads along the beach can disorient them, making them crawl in the wrong direction until dawn when they're easy pickings. That's if they even get hatched in the first place. Mama turtles that have been returning to the same beach for decades may be discouraged by the brightly lit shore and look for another nesting site where they could get disoriented themselves and wander into traffic. Light pollution can affect some creatures in the water also. Microscopic animals called zooplankton hang out at lower depths during the day and rise up to feed on algae every night. If the night sky is too bright, they don't rise up as high or in as great of numbers, so they don't eat as much algae, which can in turn contribute to an algal bloom. Coastal light can also hurt some coral species in the Great Barrier Reef, which rely on phases of the moon to sink their release of sperm and eggs into the water. If the moon's phases are masked, then they might not spawn at the right time, and that means less new coral. Light pollution isn't great news for some land creatures either. Birds that migrate at night are known to crash into brightly lit towers or skyscrapers, or circle around them until they die of exhaustion. Amphibians like salamanders that forage after dusk will wait longer to come out since the night sky is more brightly lit and they don't get as much food. And get this, some frog and toad males will not ribbit if they're well lit. So then the lady frogs won't holler back and mate with them.
There is a tremendous change because the increase of brightness at nighttime is new to evolution.
This is Sibylle Schröer from the Leibniz Institute of Freshwater Ecology and Inland Fisheries in Berlin. She researches the impact of light on ecosystems.
Light is not neutral. Light has an effect.
Corals, birds, and many other species of wildlife struggle when it's light at night, where it used to be dark. Freshly hatched turtles should make their way into the sea, but lights near the shore can mislead them. They head inland and die. Artificial light at night contributes to the decline in insect populations. One study says the decline amounts to 100 billion every summer in Germany alone. Such light also contributes to a decrease in nocturnal pollination activity. A UK study found that where there is nighttime lighting, trees bud earlier and lose their leaves later than elsewhere. All these various effects on different creatures and plants together affect the environment as a whole.
So predators can maybe hunt better because they can see better. Others will stay in the dark, smaller species for example, and this disturbs the predator-prey relationships and changes whole ecosystems with this.
The more
effects of light pollution in your life? So what if I can't see the Milky Way at night? It's just a little light pollution, right?
And so you have to beware. An attack is on the way. Attack is already being launched on the system of time that Allah has given. And from the time you step out of the system of time, sacred time that Allah has given, what is the price you pay? Answer. You'll be following Dajjal. And when you follow Dajjal, what's going to happen? Answer. Time will move faster and faster. And as time moves faster and faster for you, your capacity to think becomes less and less and less and less. Your capacity to think becomes less and less and less and less. And as a consequence, he will join the global godless society, where everyone will live the same way, will dress the same way, will die the same way, and all of them will go into the hellfire. Because Dajjal is the one who is controlling the global society. For those who have not seen the moon, but have chosen, like the deaf, the dumb, and the blind, for them, of course, who have already who begun the fasting, because they say the month of Ramadan has already commenced. So we say to all of them in Britain in particular, who have already commenced the fast of Ramadan, you are misguided. You are a danger to us. And in the same way that there is social, they call it social distancing. People have to stand apart. What is it called? Social distancing? So you keep 3 feet away. So now I'm going to coin a new term after that. We call it religious distances. We want to keep you away because you're a danger to us. This whole jamaat, which has already started the fast of Ramadan, even though they did not see the moon. That is the bitter lesson I am conveying today from my sitting room to that misguided jamaat which did not see the moon and yet has commenced the fast of Ramadan. Did you listen to me? Around the world today, for those who have eyes to see and who don't spend their days and their nights eating halwa, because the scholars of Islam were eating halwa and they achieved it, while our scholars are eating halwa. I mean, you got to eat a lot of halwa not to be able to see.
So what if I can't see the Milky Way at night? It's just a little light pollution, right?
That for us, the month begins when we see the new moon. And the new moon has to be seen in the sky above us, not in Chicago. We will not fast because Chicago saw the moon. No. We fast when we see the moon above us. But it'll only be if you started Ramadan on the correct day. And that will be if you follow the moon in the sky above you, not in Saudi Arabia. Those who follow the Saudi moon, you are people who are betraying the system of time. If you are located in Saudi, yes, you follow the Saudi moon. If you are located in Saudi, yes, you follow the Saudi moon. But if you're located in London and you follow the Saudi moon, you're no different from sheep and cattle and goats. For those who have not seen the moon, but have chosen, like the deaf, the dumb, and the blind, to follow a bogus Saudi declaration, Saudi Arabia, which is a client state of Dajjal, but they are following Dajjal's Saudi regime. You are a danger to us, so we are so religious distances. Get lost. We want to separate ourselves from you. It is frustrating to me that I have to raise my voice. Yes, in this old age of mine, I have to live with this nonsense. People who are a danger to us because they lack the capacity to think, or because they're too scared to think, or because it is inconvenient for them to think. They prefer to follow, to put order, lay the red carpet for Muhammad bin Salman and his army from Dajjal. So now the time has come for us to part from you.
قد جاءكم بصائر من ربكم فمن أبصر فلنفسه ومن عمي فعليها وما أنا عليكم بحفيظ